And we're back. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. If I don't get a chance to say it to you tomorrow or Thursday. Hey, listen, if you're sitting around getting drunk with your relatives and you want a taste of reality, I might do a schmooze Thursday night for everybody, just so we could, once we're done trying to discuss with our illegitimate cousin that he doesn't know how the price of oil is, how that works, or how inflation works, or how the stock market works. Come and cleanse your palate with some reality. So here's a bunch of reality for you. That Thursday when we squeezed and I made that video, you can imagine I got my ass kicked that day, right? I don't even know if I talked about it, but I didn't come in short. But once we exploded and I missed a lot of the upside, there I was trying to short the market and it just wouldn't budge. And I kept fighting it. Non VWAP, no rules, just trying to pick tops. How'd that work out for me? About $12,000 out the window, right? Since that day, all I've done is VWAP trades on earnings reports, and I've made all my money back and then some. So let me just talk to you one more time. It's been 10 years now. I have a trade that works every single time it shows up, not just once in a while, every time. And the only reason I'm not a billionaire is I do a lot of other dumb things. Obviously, it used to be gambling on options before earnings reports. That cost me millions. Then I thought I knew more about than I thought I could get in front of the Fed controlled bull market in 2013. Blew my life up. So I've had many, many, many more often than not. And what's sad, and again, this is not even fun to say out loud, most of my big days are losses. I've had an 8 grand loss this year. I've had a 12 or 13 grand loss. I've had series of 3 grand losses. Have I had a 12 grand winner day this year? Nope. I've had a couple of 3s and 4s, but generally I'm a grinder. I get to that 500, 600. I usually shut the computer. That's what gives me I call it not the fear of missing out, the makeup trade. And what happens is that, on a day like today, I look at some of the math. It's nice that we did well. All the trades work. Dix, Zoom, Dell, Qs, even SHC, Dix again, Zoom again, SOXL. Back into the Zoom, back into some Dix, Zoom, zooming in my Dix and Zoom. Between Dix and Zoom, you made a year's worth of money. But did I make a year's worth of money? No. So what gets me into trouble is I start looking at some of the math. I'm like, if I could have done this and I would have done that and I should have done this and a booga 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 booga. Next thing I know, I get myself nuts and I'm like, damn, I should be up 8 grand today and I'm up $690. But I'm up $690 on zero risk. I wasn't taking any risk on those trades. I was in 200 share lots, messing around, making sure everybody knew what I was doing, feeding the information to my 1,000 people that watch me trade live. And again, that's why I've been talking about hiring somebody to just do these trades. But the last person I was about to hire, if you're out there, you kind of said maybe this can't be done. Oh, it can be done. You just got to stay focused. All I would want my assistant today to do is watch my Zoom trade and watch my Dix trade and manage the trade while I'm downstairs cleaning my basement. Oh, yeah, speaking of that. If anybody's in New Jersey or New York and you've got young kids, I've got a basement full of stuff that I've been hoarding for 30 years. Please help me take some of this stuff. I've donated a bunch of it already to charity. I gave to the ROTC. I give to the churches and to food clothing drives. But man, I still got crap everywhere. Speaking of stuff like this, like it's a cement. You pour your own cement. You you decorate it, it hardens, and you got yourself a cement thing. What am I doing with this? We bought this for somebody. They didn't want it. Next thing you know, it's in my house for 12 years. Somebody take this. It's like a $50 thing. I'm not gonna throw it out. I got this one. I got this one. I mean, it's just ridiculous how much stuff I've had in my house unopened. Unopened stuff. So somebody come over and grab my shit. What the hell was I saying? Oh, so go back to the trading and whatnot. If you can stick to the trade that I talk about, and you'll see it on Dick's, you'll see it on Zoom today, Schmuckers yesterday, SJM was phenomenal, Home Depot, Target. We haven't had a losing trade on these trades. It's unbelievable. It doesn't make any sense. But my bad luck is that when I buy 40 contracts, for some reason, that's the one that doesn't want to work well. I buy 3 contracts, poof, I'm tripling my money. I don't know whether or not it's definitely the matrix. I mean, if you're not convinced, and by the way, the real reason we're here is that I hope you didn't forget that you could just bet against the Jets and you never, ever, ever lose. Did you think they were going to beat the Patriots? So the reason I know I'm in the matrix, right? So I'm sitting there suffering, watching this game, half watching it, because I had cousins over. I know I'm betting big. Every time the Jets went 3 and out, I put another $50 on the Patriots. Every time, so it was a lot of that. A lot of time, anytime Zach Wilson didn't look good, I put another $50 on the Patriots. But the money line was still, you had to lay, 150 to win 100, so you weren't really getting paid. Then the magic happened. As soon as you had hope, hey, the Jets are getting the ball back. They held them again. And the odds went where the Patriots were actually the underdog for a second. That's when you had to add. But that's when I actually let hope. I let hope and my fandom get in the way when I should have been pushing the bet. So then the Jets can't do anything. Last series of the game, I turned to my boy and I said, "You know what's going to happen here, right? He's going to run this damn kick back for a touchdown and end this game and end my misery." And there he went. And my son was looking at me like, and I said, yeah, that's your dad. We're in the matrix, son. Drop out of college right now and trade stocks with me. Don't tell your mom. We are in the matrix. There's too many of these coincidences that happen. And because I'm so focused on that stuff, when you're watching the market, it seems like it's one big coincidence. It's all rigged. And it starts to make me think that the whole life is rigged. Sports are definitely rigged. The market's rigged. Life is rigged. And if life is rigged, this is all just one comic strip for some aliens that built us. And they're just laughing at me right now. That's why every once in a while, I get these crazy headaches because that's the aliens. Like, oh, he's on to us. Give him that headache again. Make him fall asleep. And then I have to go to sleep. I take a couple of painkillers. I wake up and I'm like, kind of forget what I was saying, right? Telling you, we're in the matrix, no doubt. But because we're in the matrix and because the market's rigged, once you truly accept it, and I've accepted, you ain't going to convince me this is not some sort of simulated reality. It's too much stuff goes on that it can't be a coincidence, right? But when you watch the market and you see something happen every time, how could you not make money on that? Hey, this happens most of the time. Do that. Oh, it worked again. Cool. Hey, there's that thing again. Hey, this is what happens when that happens. Hey, let's do that. Oh, look, it worked again. And then it works every time. It works every time. We've had now 320 earnings reversals, which is not a lot. Think about it from January 1st to today. So only 320 of them have shown up. right? Think about it. If you trade 20 stocks and 20 trades a day, you're doing 20, 40, 60, you're making 100 trades a week, 320 out of the entire year. It's not a lot, but 319 of them turned out to be profitable trades. Do those 320 trades. I'll give you the money. Just do it. Do those trades. I don't want you to do anything else. Don't think for yourself. And I just need a robot. And the reason that I can't automate this stuff is because I want the piecing out of the position takes some sort of human finesse. I'd rather sit there, do it myself, but I'm going to have to figure out how to do this on an auto trader on a smaller scale. I think I could start to do it, but I haven't been able to figure out how I'd automate it on the way out. In's easy. In's easy. If Zoom breaks VWAP, buy it. Then the question is scaling out of the position. Scaling out is where there would be, some finesse and some real programming, which is what I don't know how to do that. I'd like to sit down with a programmer because this, no doubt it works. It's not a question of if it works. It's a question of the element of luck, what I talk about, right? Is that, let's say with Zoom, right? My first trade was just 100 shares pre-market because it's illiquid. Next trade I did 300 shares. After making money on Zoom on the way up and the way down, not buying it on the way up with some size, that's irresponsible. That's irresponsible on my part. There shouldn't have been a question whether or not I bought Zoom. I covered my short. It started to set up as, again, there was a reason to cover. If there's a reason to cover, then there's a reason to buy. Got to be on the other side of that trade. I got to cover. I got to go long, and I got to buy $73 calls. I got to buy $75 calls. That's what I need my assistant to do. So while I'm day trading in my liquid day trading account with the stock, I need to have an assistant that says, all right, you're covering. Should I buy the $73 calls? Of course you should. Get him. So as I'm covering, you're buying the calls. And now you're talking about a whole different day. Because I made money on 100 measly shares in the pre-market, 300 on the way down. But the real trade was the reversal on Zoom to the upside. Because now you got yourself a squeeze. And you got yourself some 73, 74, 75. You got every option out there to take part in. Very liquid, very awesome, very great. And your lotto play hit. Everything about the trade turned out to be phenomenal. Dix and Zoom. This is not a 680 kind of day. This is a 10, 20, 30, 40, 100 grand kind of day. And again, I live vicariously through my members. I'm glad people got involved in the Dix and got involved in the Zoom. And we're still long the queues. There's no reason to get out of the queues right now. I think we get back to 287.50 by tomorrow. And then I think we rally Friday also. And then, again, this is a typical rally part of the year. You could see the buyers are here. This is real buying. It's not as much short squeezy as it was 2 weeks ago. This is real buying. People are there. You could feel the bids. They're solid bids. They're hanging in there. Stocks are pulling back and holding them. But man, not buying. They're not monster percentage gains, but the $74 calls on Zoom on the pivot. Let me see where they are now. Yeah, these were $1.50. Now they're $3.50. And then the lotto play would have been, well, when you go lotto, I tend to look at where the stock was the prior day. And then the aftermarket, you got up to 86 on the Zoom call last night. So somewhere smack dab in the middle, you're looking at a stock that, again, your target would have been, not to go crazy far-fetched, but, the 79s, 78s. And if you bought the 78s, when it pivoted back over VWAP, so the 78s, those were sitting there you would have been buying them at 60. It's not, again, not tremendous percentage gains, but 60 got you 120. And then if you went lotto, like full blown lotto, you try to find something that's under a dime. That wasn't much to choose from. But let's say you bought the 79s, 79s, you would have got it at 40, and now they're, a buck. But the idea was that it's just phenomenal, just a great dip buying opportunity. Same thing with Dick, same thing with Zoom. And the market's just going up right now. So the lotto play on the Qs, the lotto play on the Qs is not even a lotto play anymore. When the Qs got back over VWAP, it was at 1042 when they tested the VWAP and started to rally. Right there, you buy the 284s. That's when you had to buy them. You don't want to buy them now. You don't, again, the mistake about the lotto play is that people start buying 287s now. Now, we could go to 287 by the end of the day, but you want to get the lotto play on at the most crucial moment when the market pulled back and held the bid. Because it looked like we were going to roll over, but we held VWAP. We started to rally. So around 1045, you're looking at the 284s. That's where you want it to be. So 284s at 1043. Yeah, 30 cents got you 90. Not bad. At least you got a 300%er there. But just a lot. There was a lot of easy money. And I'm not, again, I tend to go looking for hard trades in the middle of the day. I just haven't been putting trades on. I haven't not really entered into a new trade. Usually I'm just still in something from earlier, like the Qs now. And that's all I got. I'm not going to get into new trades in the middle of the day. But the market's kind of boring, right? Thing about boring markets is they generally they stay with the trend. You never short a dull market, they say. And you're getting in right now. You're just kind of grinding higher. You don't really see you don't want to, no reason to jump in now. It's probably just going to grind another buck and a half, maybe. But you got 2 o'clock coming. Usually you have a counter trend move soon. Might look to buy the dip. But I got to tell you one more thing before I go. BT freaking you, people. BT freaking you. BT freaking you. Every dip, all the time, no matter what, keep buying this stock. BTU. All right? I have very little on. That's why it's going to go. But BTU, every pullback has been bought. The stock had reported 2 bad numbers. They talked about something happening overseas, tariffs, blah, blah, blah. No matter what they threw at this stock, it's still right here at 29 and change. It doesn't want to die. Doesn't want to die. It's got to be a buy. You're 3 points away from an epic breakout. If this thing gets to 35 and breaks through it, it's going to 47. And if you see BTU over 47, I'm telling you fuckers, man, this thing's going to 120. There are no options priced above 45. Everyone's going to go scrambling to buy it. It's going to be a gamma burst, and no one's going to know what to do. And the stock's going to be up 30 points one day, and you're like, what the fuck just happened? So I'm thinking about unhedging I got a 30-40 call spread. I'm thinking about taking the small loss off on the $40 calls because I don't want to hedge. The math made so much sense. And I think for Christmas, December, right? December 32.50s are $1. Oh, sorry, they're $1.30. I bought those. December 23rd. So for Christmas, maybe we get paid an extra little bit. Now, again, I love a call spread on here because the goddamn options are so expensive. You could go out there, you get the December 32s for $1.50. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong one. I thought the 40s were 50 cents. But let's say you buy the 32s for $1.50. stock starts rocking, then the 40s go to like $1, then maybe you could sell those. But BT freaking you, man. This stock, every dip has been bought for over a year and a half. It refuses to die. And generally, when stocks act this way, it's just the timing. I thought it was going to break out 2 weeks ago, and here we are 2 weeks later, still waiting. So on November 7th, I was like, okay, here we go. We lost money that day when it didn't hold the 30, then craters back to 27.50, gets in again. And then it tries to shake us out, but it holds the 1 month VWAP. Next thing you know, you're popping again. So I think this monster consolidation from the last, 2 or 3 months, it's going to be just sick. And if you look at it, look at the all-time chart, 33.29 is a big number, 35 is a big number, and then you got, I think we're gonna rock $46. And if we're over 46, the stock's going to 80. And if I'm not up at least 20 grand on BTU, if the stock's at $80, come and kill me. Just end me. All right. And I'm minimum 20 grand. If I'm not up 20, if this stock's at 80, I'm saying if BTU is at 80 in the next 6 months and I'm not up at least 20 grand on this trade, end my life. End me. Just end me. Been waiting for this move, basically since what? March of 2020. And I caught that turn. But anyway, this market's not going down right now. Really, it's really not. I got SOXL, I got BTU, got the Qs. I'm not in a lot of positions. There's smaller positions. I still rather be liquid. But I sold puts on the Qs. They were sitting there. I got a pretty good price. I went out to December 250s the other day. I sold December 246s. Basically anything under the 52-week low for this year. I think the lows are in. So I just sold the premium. I sold premium there. And again, all this could change tomorrow, right? We have some sort of data coming out. I don't think it's going to be a significantly big move. I think the overwhelming sentiment and your seasonality will still stay intact. I think we're just going up. We might get 10 points. We might retest the, Qs were at 292. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking we get there Friday afternoon by 1 o'clock. Q's back to 292.50. And then we come in Monday and see where we are. So I'm not kidding. Anybody in New York or New Jersey, you've got young kids, you want some gymnastics equipment? I got gymnastics equipment. I got games. I got remote control cars. Come to the house. I'll meet you at Wegmans. I'll meet you at a bar. Anything. Just take some of this stuff. I'm running out of room. All right, peoples. Be careful out there. It's a great market to trade. Just keep your discipline. Stay patient. The trades keep coming one after another. You just got to sit back and wait. Peace. Be good. Happy Thanksgiving. Maybe I'll see you on Thursday night. Later, Jim Lewis. Solid says hi.